Hey, what's up, guys? Today's trade was a long position on MNQ during Asia. Ended up break even. We were plus 2R in the money, but followed our system and it ended up break even. It is what it is. But let me talk about the strategy, what we traded, the same one that we trade pretty much every single session. And yeah, so let's start off with Asia Open. Initially, the reason I had a bearish bias was simply because if you zoom out and look at New York, we ended with very bearish structure, right? So naturally, I'm thinking this is going to continue. I'm going to seek a short. And there was an opportunity up here, but I didn't take this because I was away from the computer. And when I saw the market, we were already in this area, right? So I was looking at this previous day low and thought, well, if we're truly bearish, we're going to go and tag this, which means for me, there's no reason to trade this unless I can find a good entry model here, right? Didn't find one. And to get to the point of why we went long is because after the sweep, we didn't see further continuation to the downside, right? A lot of times you get the sweep and then you might get some type of bounce, but then you get confirmation of lower lows and lower highs, something like that, right? When this type of, when this type of pattern is created after a significant level being swept, I'm going to be bearish, right? But that didn't happen. What happened was we swept it, immediately created an inversion fair value gap, or we inversed this 1 minute, this bearish gap. And after that, we created many bullish gaps, all these that I referenced, not only created them, but never rebounced any of them really. I mean, this kind of rebounced slightly, but for the most part, no rebouncing, creating multiple break of structures. And in fact, after this first break of structure, I was seeking an entry. We didn't get one because price wasn't drawing into any of these gaps until around this 1 minute gap. Now, honestly, if you zoom in, if we're being very technically correct, this did not rebalance. You see that there? It was like a tick away. Okay, but I was willing to put risk on because the trend was so bullish and directional that I thought, well, there's a chance it won't rebalance and we're going to continue to the upside. So I put I took the risk, put our 1R, or it was a little over 1R. We put 500. And this is to my point of the video about the part about following rules. So for me, when I saw the P&L at about 1,000, which is a 2R, I don't like to fixate on the dollar amount because in reality, what we should be fixating on is following the edge that we've already seen works. So just following your rules. But we're human, and when I was looking at this P&L at 1,000, it got really stressful when I started to see all this slow grind to the downside. And thankfully, I let it go break even. I didn't cut it on the way down, didn't cut it while we were up, and that gave me more confidence in the fact that we can follow a system even during tough situations like this. For me, this was a tough situation, guys. And I know one could argue that it's so much better to cut a trade when you're up, for example, a certain dollar amount. But it's like, hey, if you do that once and you get rewarded for it, there's going to be a time where you just do it again. It might be the next trader session. And basically, if you're breaking your rules, you're going against the edge. So over time, that doesn't help your performance. Again, I know there's people thinking, oh, but you were up 1,000. Like, what a good day. You could have locked it in. Well, had I done that, I probably wouldn't have. I'd probably go and do that tomorrow during New York, and who knows if that's gonna bite me or not. And I'd rather protect my mindset by saying, "Hey, I followed my rules here. This gives me confidence. It improves my discipline. I added more points to my discipline, and it's all good because the market's here for a long time. It's gonna outlive us, of course, and there's more trades and opportunities for us." So, yeah, I did want to make a point about that because guys, the strategy, sure, it's important. And yes, I like this edge, but this edge won't work for you if you break your rules. Like once you create a system that works for you, that you find through your back testing, you find out how you react after one or two losses or whatever the case may be. You want to stick to what is going to protect the account from you, from your emotions, right? So like I have rules that protect my account from me because I'm human and I want to make silly decisions. But the point is that, the strategy, yes, it's good, but it doesn't work if, for example, had I cut this trade, yeah, today would have realized 1,000, blah, blah, blah. But trust me, over time, that habit would bleed, that bad habit would bleed into my trades, and I would ruin this edge that we've already seen works as long as we stick to it. So Again, just to rehearse the or review the trade or the system, it was a liquidity grab, previous day low, established trend. We got a lot of bullish PD arrays and breaking bear structure. Entry model right here. Not exactly a perfect entry model, but we put risk on and we got the trend right. It was just, a break-even trade. It's actually, in my opinion, almost an A+ trade. The only thing that kept it from A+ was the fact that we didn't rebalance the gap. But yeah, I'm willing to do that here and there when price looks pretty directional. And in my opinion today, it's hard to argue that this wasn't a very strong sequence for the bulls. But I hope that makes sense, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. And yeah, last reminder, stick to your system no matter how frustrating it may be. Because if the edge is really proven, then over time it will work out. And that's part of the game, is to stay very patient and know that tomorrow we have another trade. All right, guys, good night.